Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 2 of Ultimate 6. Now, Ultimate 6 is meant to be a 7-issue series that's meant to cover the ultimate version of the Sinister Six. And the cover has Otto with his tentacles getting ready to take on Spider-Man. And it mainly starts off with Hank Pym doing a session saying, "Norman, when you see yourself in this form, how does it make you feel?" And you can kind of tell each members are taking turns explaining their certain things about them. And we kind of see how Norman Osborn says, "Why don't you ask me? What do you really want to ask me, Pym?" And talk about his agendas and that. And he even points out that he had everything he could want and squandered it away. And even points out that Shield has everything from his Oz formula and that, which Norman Osborn ends up turning to his Green Goblin form and tries to go for him. So we see Hank going Giant Man and crushing down Norman Osborn. And Hank saying, "Well, at least we know the system works." And of course, we see 6 weeks later, Sharon Carter and Jimmy Woo taking Norman Osborn back to his cell, and we see Carter playing a kind of joke on Max Dillon when he kind of starts to get all pervy. And of course, we see how Doc Ock comes with a plan and decides to play the whole Mr. Good Guy routine. And even wants to help change the world, and wants to serve his sentence in time. We see at the Triskelion, Fury and the team are looking into files from Doc Ock, and even talking about everything about Doc Ock trying to turn over a new leaf. And we see Wasp saying, "This guy, I swear to God, this guy Octavius was a genius. I wrote one of my doctorates on this man's work. Worship the guy." And we see how Hank Pym has been taking his free time to help study and deal with the villains. And of course, Fury points out to Captain America and Hawkeye that there's only a handful of these super criminals, and it's Hank and them trying to help them stabilize their mutations and turn them back to normal. And of course, we see as well that Fury says, "And yes, I do agree with Pym that there is a lot to learn from this situation." And of course, we kind of see how Captain America knows what really happened, as a lot of these victims were kind of results of the soldiers replicating the super soldier serum. And of course, we see how Captain America leaves, and Tony saying, "What did I miss?" And so we see how Hank decides to let Otto help with the research and everything else, and Otto's still playing the whole good guy routine, and even mentions how he might have the ability now because of the Oz formula, and turns out he can control his tentacles with his mind, killing 3 people and Hank barely alive. And of course, they manage to break out the power, and of course they manage to get everyone off their collars with Electro using his electric ability. So meaning that, yeah, Norman Osborn's now back to his goblin form, and even gets Kraven out of his collar, but Sandman doesn't want to risk it. Of course, the doors break, and Octavius shows up saying, "I'd say there are at least 50 more SHIELD agents and staff working in this facility." And we kind of see how Norman figures out that Otto played the whole good guy routine just so they can hear what they want to hear. And him mentioning that he's going to look for his boy, who he sees Peter Parker as his golden child and Harry. And of course, destroys half the facility. And yeah, this is the story. So, issue 2 is definitely a good build-up. It's showing how putting 5 of the most dangerous villains that Spider-Man defeated during the Ultimate Spider-Man run are coming back to form their team. And I think, yeah, the series and issue definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, comic reviewer here, signing out.